Welcome to the work log application training. To get to the work log, we're just going to, in our browser, type http spdev.baltimore.city/MOIT/intranet. Then we get our login prompt. So if you've clicked remember my credentials in the past, it'll automatically display your domain in first.last. If it's not there, then just type the domain as Baltimore. Then the slash that's just below the backspace key, not the one that's to the left of the shift key. First.last. Then in your credentials, type your password. Click OK. Then this will take us to the MOIT Intranet site. So to get to the work log, we're going to click the work log link on the right here. And this will bring up the work log dashboard. At the top of your screen, you'll see the standard entry form. So in the fields here, when you're entering your individual items for the day, you want to make sure that you're aggregating your tasks in a logical way into tasks or subtasks. If you're unclear on how to aggregate your tasks, make sure you ask your manager. The only exception where you're not going to be breaking down your work into individual items that you're working on is if you're part of a call center. So let's say you're in the help desk call center, you're just going to write provided call center support every day, 8 hours. That's what you're going to write in the title. And then the details, if you have a link to footprints, that's great. And if not, you can just enter the same thing. But for me, I need to enter what I'm working on right now, which is creating the work log training. So I'm going to say created work log training. And then when you click into details, you'll notice that you're given a few other options up here in the ribbon. You get to format your text similarly to how you would format your text in Word, or you can insert a hyperlink. For details, you want to be as detailed as possible, so I'm going to write created and conducted work log video training to assist users in entering daily time and submitting their week of work. And then in day, you'll notice that it's automatically populated as today's date. However, you can change it to a previous date or a future date. And that's indicated, but today's date will automatically be populated normally, but you can always go back and change that. So for hours, you're going to write the hours that you worked on this. So for me, I'm writing 4. And then first, when you're in the project field, which is the next field, check to make sure that's not in the existing list. If it's not, which mine isn't, we're going to write it in the freeform field. And then if your manager has indicated that they added the task that you're working on to the site, then it will be here. Otherwise, you can just leave this field blank as it is optional. If you would like to have a project or task added to the site, you can contact your manager or SharePoint administrator to get help in adding a project or task to the site for you to select. Under Select Agency, if it's an internal task, you'll select Information Technology. Or maybe you're working with multiple agencies, you can always click as many of these add agencies as you'd like. And if you accidentally added one that you didn't want, you can hover over the item, select the arrow to the left, and say Remove Agency. Okay? To add a new work log item, you click the Add Work Log link. And let's say I want to enter leave. For all future leave items, you'll type leave in the title and the details. And then you select the day that your leave is. I'm going to take leave for 8 hours, the whole day, so I'll say 8. And then in an existing project, you'll select leave. Nothing for existing task, but we do want to make sure that we're selecting information technology for the agency. As you'll notice here, the total hours for the items that I've entered equal 12 because I'm entering future items. But normally for the day, you want this to equal 8 if you're entering for the full day. However, sometimes you enter items in the morning and you're going to go back and enter more items later. This doesn't always have to equal 8 or 7.3 or whatever your designated time for the day is. This total does not have to specifically equal a certain amount, nor does the total time for the day. This is just to track the items that you've been working on. So when you're done entering for now, you click Save Entries, and you'll get a prompt thanking you for entering. And then you get a link to view your entries. And when you click here, it'll open this new window and show you the items that you've entered for today and in the future. So I'm going to exit out of here to return. And if you wanted to see the standard entry form again, you would just click the work log link at the top, or you can hit F5 to refresh. Make sure when you're entering your items that you enter it within a certain amount of time, let's say maybe 15 minutes, because if you keep it open too long, it may time out. And we don't want it to time out because then you may lose some work. So you want to make sure that you're hitting save your time. It's okay, you can always go back and enter more time later in the day. You don't have to enter it all at once. This saves it as you go. So there is another entry method that allows you to keep it open if you prefer. It's called Quick Entry, and that's located down here. And this is similar to kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. It'll show your items for today that you've entered so far, and it allows you to do copy-paste functionality. So if I wanted to copy and paste an item, I could just say copy and paste it down here. And let's say I know I'm going to work on the same thing tomorrow. I'll just select the next day for that. And when you're done, you say stop editing this list, and then it only will return the items for today. However, if you want a view of all the items that you've worked on, then you can go to My History. This will show a summary by day of the items that you've worked on. So you can expand and collapse any of these items by clicking the little arrow just to the left of day of work. And it'll show you a summary of all the items for that day. And then you just collapse by clicking that arrow again, and you can expand and collapse multiple days if you like. So we're going to go back by clicking X. As you can see, just below the standard entry form, it shows you a sum of today's items that you've entered. And oops, I can see that I entered leave for today, and I meant to enter leave for Thursday. So as you will notice on all the items throughout the site, there's this little ... field just to the right of the title, and this is the open menu link. So if I wanted to edit an item, I would just hover over open menu, I'd click on it, and I'd say edit item. And so here I'm able to go back and change the day to Thursday. Then I'm going to save. And then to get back to the work log dashboard, I just click work log in this top bar link. And as you notice, when I come back down here, it doesn't appear anymore because this is just for today only. And oops again, because I can see I entered this task twice accidentally. So if I want to go back in and delete this item, I just click the open menu link, and then I go to delete item. Then it asks you if you're sure, you say okay. But don't worry, if you ever accidentally delete an item, you can always contact your SharePoint administrator to recover the item. So now, as you can see, today's entries correctly reflect the work that I've performed so far. And you're always able to go in and view more details by saying open menu item, link, and then view item. Or we can go back to the widget that I showed you earlier for My History and view all the details in a summary format. At the end of the work week, whatever your manager designates as the end of the work week, you will be clicking Submit Week to authorize that the work that you've submitted from the past week is complete and accurate. So here you'll just enter your full name and the week ending. So if your manager says your end of the week is a Wednesday, then you'll click Wednesday. If it's a Friday, you'll click Friday. And then you leave the certification box checked. And I would normally say save, but I've already submitted my work, so I'm going to actually say cancel to go back. And it'll take me to the work completed authorization, so that's not the screen we want. We want to go back to the work log dashboard. And here we can see the submissions that you've done, and it'll show you all of your submissions. And as you can see, I accidentally submitted 2 of the same week, so I'll just go into the open menu link again and delete this one, say OK, and it shows you your most recent submissions. If your manager approved or rejected it, it would also show up here, and then it would show the comments that they made. So let's say they rejected it and gave you a reason why in the comment, then you could see what you need to go back and change. You could go back into My History, then click the ... and edit the items so that they reflect the changes that your managers wanted. Additionally, make sure that you submit your time every day, because there is an audit that runs once a day to make sure that you've submitted your time. If you haven't submitted your time, then your manager and yourself will get an email stating that you have a few hours to fix your time before the next morning's report, and then your name will appear in a managerial report if you have not entered your time for the previous day. So make sure you're entering your time each day so you don't get on that report. That concludes the WorkLog application training. If you have any additional questions on SharePoint training in general, browser or navigation, just regular setup, access, anything like that, feel free to contact your manager or SharePoint administrator for additional information.